So today we're going to go on a bagel tour to find out which bagel place in the valley has the best New York style bagel. We're starting out right now at Bagel here on Thomas, basically between 29th and 30th Street. And they've got some rules that you have to follow. They wouldn't cut our bagels for us, so we're going to have to do our own thing. So we'll see how it goes. I got sesame with cream cheese. We're going to get the same thing at every place to make sure that we really compare them. So I notice already that the hole is pretty much closed up. Oh, look at how nice that is. Lots of sesame seeds. Yeah, it's warm. That was a really good experience. It was very interesting because it was like a New York experience in that it was like small, there was a line, there were some rules. It was kind of friendly, but also kind of stressful, so that was very New York. As far as the bagel itself, me personally, I don't like to have the hole closed in like that, but that's just a geometry thing, really. As far as the texture of the bread, it was nice and toothsome. There was a chew to it. It wasn't like you're getting like wholesome bread or something like that. I would have preferred a little bit tougher outer, crispier outer, but overall the ratio of like outer being semi-crispy plus like the nice toothsome interior, it was really good. I thought it was excellent. And we met the owner, who was kind of forthcoming about his new store in Tempe, and I thought it was great. I really enjoyed the experience, and I think the bagel was a good, solid, probably 9 out of 10. The sesame seeds were super well distributed, covered the whole thing, tasty. And I will say also that the flavor of the bread, the flavor of the actual crumb, was excellent. It had a lot of complexity, some maltiness to it, and I really liked it. And the cream cheese was, cream cheese, but it was good. I had plain cream cheese, so it wouldn't negatively impact the flavor, or take away from the flavor, I should say, of the bagel itself. So we're just trying to stick with the purity of a sesame bagel and plain cream cheese, just to really analyze the bagel itself. Now, of course, one of the rules today was that because it's busy, is they would not cut the bagel for us. So we had to go outside on the table and like pick it apart or use a plastic knife, which was not ideal, but I understand. They had a line out the door. So now we're at the Bagel Man in Ahwatukee. Famously a delicious place. We'll see. I've never been here. My buddy Glenn tells me that it's legit. And we're going to get our standard order, and we'll compare and contrast them, okay? Very nice. Okay. Well, first of all, that thing is ginormous. Is that gigantic or what? And the hole, again, got closed up. Again, not my favorite thing, but that might just be a personal problem. And then, well, we'll try it and see. I mean, it looks a lot breadier, to be honest with you, so we'll see. But the crust looks like a nice crust, so let's try it and see. That's pretty good. It's definitely got a crispy skin, which I really like. Less sesame than I like. It's got a nice chew to the bread, but not as much flavor as at Bagel Felds, so a better crust. I got to be honest, I was a little disappointed. I felt like the bagels were not that fresh, probably overly bready, not a lot of complexity in the actual bread part of it. The crispy crunch was very, very nice, but they were not warm out of the oven, that's for sure. I don't want to be cruel, but I'm going to give it a 7. It's nice people, friendly, aims to please, but the product just didn't come through. So let's unpack this here. Oh, this does look promising. Look at how nicely they cut it and everything. Look at this here. Look at like that blistering. Now this is very promising. This is very promising here. And oh, nice generous amount of cream cheese. Isn't that beautiful? I'm gonna give it a try right now. Oh yeah. The crunch. The malty, tender but chewy inner. I love this. This is a really good bagel. Really good bagel. Well, Buongiorno Bagels was pretty impressive. The guy's from New York. One of the things is he has a device that tries to replicate the water of New York, which supposedly is a secret to some of their great bagels. For whatever reason, I'll tell you, the skin on the bagel was really nice. It was blistered, it was crunchy, had good texture. There were plenty of sesame seeds, not as much as at Bagel Feld's, but there were plenty of them. It was definitely slathered with cream cheese, which is very New York. We had to scrape some off. It was so there was so much of it, and the taste of the actual center part of the bagel, the bread itself, was nice and malty and tasty. It wasn't just like some sort of white bread situation. So I thought it was great. I'm going to give it a 9.5. I thought it was an exceptionally good bagel. In New York, how would it stack up? I can't say, but here in Arizona, I would say it's the best. I think we need to go to Einstein's. It's kind of like the Starbucks of bagels, you know, commercially successful. We'll use it as a benchmark against the more artisan bagels around Phoenix and Gilbert and Ahwatukee. Went to Einstein's to get the benchmark bagel from a national chain. Kind of surprised at the price. It's $2.49, which is more expensive than at least two of the other places we went to. And the schmear was $1.89, so it's not an inexpensive bagel. The coffee's good, but let's take a peek at this here. Oh, well, it's definitely kind of blonde. It's got some cornmeal on the bottom. It looks a lot more like a grocery store bagel. Here, I better try this. There's zero crunch. The skin, as you can see, is super blonde. There's really no crunchiness to it. The flavor of the actual dough itself, not bad, but not complex. It does taste better than a grocery store bagel, but kind of boring. First of all, we've decided today to check out a bunch of bagel places in the Phoenix area, some of the very best. How did we choose them? Just looked at reviews from various places, talked to friends. Is it exhaustive? No. Are there better bagel places in Arizona? Conceivably, we didn't go to all of them, but we did compare them side by side, which is the best way to do it, in one morning. And I started out with basically a benchmark of the Starbucks of bagels, which would be Einstein's. I rated a 6. It was a decent bagel. It did have a hole in it, which I kind of like, but the crust was lacking. It wasn't that fresh. The flavor of the dough itself was very tasty. So nice and malty, a little bit of sweetness to it. So I started there, and then I'll talk about the ones in order of quality. So we went to Bagel Man in Ahwatukee, rated that a 7. It had some issues with freshness. It was over large. It didn't have the best flavor, and there were just a bunch of issues related to that, but better than Einstein's. Then we went over to Bagel Feld's, a new bagel place in downtown Phoenix on Thomas. Very, very popular. Also very, very good. I rated it a 9. It had a nice crust. It wasn't perfect. Tons of sesame seeds. Great. The flavor of the dough was awesome. But I think our best one at 9.5 was Buongiorno in Gilbert on Gilbert Road. They use ostensibly water treated to like New York City standards, which apparently is very important for bagels. It had a nice crispy crust, blistered, plenty of sesame seeds. The dough itself, malty, delicious, complex, super popular place. So that's kind of our rating today. Again, we didn't go to all bagel places, but we did do them side by side, which allowed us to compare and contrast, I think, pretty realistically.